Can you make it higher? Hey, every day he comes and fixes it. Every day. We want real good ice every day. Pretty much, right? Hey.
He wants to be.
Okay, hey, it's out of my control here, gang. All right, close your eyes, Gail. You know, Jesus, killing me here. Yeah? Easy now, Linda. Easy now. Let's take a breath here, gang. Hey. All righty, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody?
Fantastic.
How is everybody?
Perfect.
All right, it's nice. There you go. Just give us a little hello here. A lot of stuff, as always, to talk about. Mike Calvert's here. He's going to talk about solar in a minute. Anyone have a solar deal going on now? A deal with solar involved? Okay. Then I guess, Mike, you can go home, Mike. Mike, you can leave. Because we've had a few lately. And I won't steal his thunder, but we'll talk about him in a little bit.
To sell, you mean?
Are you in a deal where either you have, your buyer is buying the house with solar, or you're listing it and it's selling it with solar? You do.
I'll have one.
Oh, you'll have one. Good. Okay. You're all going to have one sooner or later. Okay. And again, not to steal Mike's thunder. Of course, his company installs them, but that's less of what he really does for us as realtors. He has actually a part of the company that will handle all the paperwork for you for a couple $100, and I do it every time. Or either I'd pay for it if I was the agent. I'd maybe get the other agent to split it with me because it helps both of us. But he'll talk about that. So that's Mike. But before we get to Mike, we want to get to you know who, John P. Morgan. There he is, John Morgan. Come on down, big guy. Yeah. What did you bring today for breakfast? Bagels?
Bagels.
All right.
Salmon
All right.
and eggs and stuff.
All right.
So not a lot. Everything's been flat on the market lately, but get ready. Jobless report came in
out.
favorable. Yeah, exactly. We got more.
Now, is a good report typically rates go up or go down? I know there's no
Go down.
go down,
It's
right?
crazy.
Yeah. I know, right?
We want more unemployed to get better rates.
Right, okay.
So that's coming in, but tomorrow's the big day. Inflation's going to show a nice drop, and everybody it's funny. We were talking yesterday. It's like these guys know what the numbers are, but they're still coming out in public. The Fed members are coming out in public saying, well, I need to see better inflation movement. We're probably going to hike rates, and they ruin the market for a couple days, right? So what's really going to happen is this number is going to show up tomorrow morning. Market's going to skyrocket. Rates are going to come down. I'm guessing that the FHAs are going to be in the fives come next week, like a standard rate. So that's going to help a lot. And going forward, the Fed's going to have to recognize these numbers, and it's possible, even though everybody says no chance for a rate cut, I really think they're going to rate cut in October. And when they announce that at their September meeting, we're going to see another bump in rates. I go up because I'm on the other side. I'm watching mortgage basis or mortgage-backed securities go up, meaning the rates go down. So we're going to have a good bump. Buyer book, agent marketing playbook. Last week to download that one. Next week will be third quarter's playbook. Working on that right now. So if you haven't got that one downloaded, taking a look, there's going to be a whole new one next week. So take a look at that. Classes, we got one coming up next month. We're skipping, obviously, 3rd of July. But Mortgage 101 was a really good class. It's not a basic class at all. We really dive into scenarios and tricks and opening up your mind to, hey, that buyer that couldn't qualify, he actually does qualify. Let me call him back and ask him these questions. So is there any interest in throwing another Mortgage 101 class like in the middle of the month?
I love one.
Sure.
Okay, I'll talk to Wendy and we'll get one on the calendar just to kind of fill that gap. But it's a really good class, a lot of good knowledge, so we'll do that. Other than that, anybody got any questions?
With the credit card debt ceiling being so high right now and everyone using the credit cards,
Carrie.
are you going to help us then with the credit score a little it?
Absolutely. So we have models and systems in our built in that I can tell them exactly what their score can be if they adjust our points, and we can rapid rescore within 7 days.
Okay,
So, like, we're under contract and they're usually we do it because we can bump them from maybe 660 to 680 or higher and get a better rate, okay? But I've seen scores go from 580 to 680 in a week just because they had 7 maxed credit cards or one that was over the limit. And we paid those down, spent $6,000 paying them down and shot their score that far.
and then do you have them combine them, or do you tell them to just each one? Like, is there a system you use, or?
You don't wanna close any credit accounts, so by paying them down, like, if we can only pay them all down to 50%, that's better than paying one down to 20 and leaving the other
Okay.
side. So, we have a simulator that gives them an entire playbook on how to do it,
Okay. Great.
so. But yeah, credit cards and card payments are the biggest killer right now in qualification. And if you got a guy that's just under what they're looking for on qualification, get me in on a second look, because you guys get better rates. So if I can drop them by 1/4%, that might bump them up another $10,000–$15,000 in qualification. So if they're right there, because the prices aren't going down, all right? They said 7% less year over year in pending sales right now, nationwide. Vegas is a little different, it's a little hotter than the rest, but overall, the trend is there's less homes pending on the market. And no matter what they say, the inventory is low. They don't take into consideration these construction starts, right? They're saying, oh, these are, they've started this many homes, but they're not available to purchase, right? They're taking all these things, and they're also considering coming, or pending, or with conditional, stuff like that. They don't count those as off market. So the national number looks big, but the actual practical number is probably 60% of it. So don't believe all the hype. The market's gonna take off before you know it. You're gonna wake up one day and say, oh my gosh, what happened? All right? So stay in front of your clients and get them under contract now, because it's the best time. So.
John Morgan, everybody.
Thanks, John.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Okay, gang, a couple of kudos to everybody. If you see Carol, she was out there, Carol and Rob Turkhorn. Carol was in the top 25 women in real estate. Out there, yeah. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! And also today is Rob Turkhorn's birthday. So if you see Rob, slap him on the back or whatever, somewhere. Amelia and Roy won the award for YPN's 40 under 40. This is an exclusive group. You got to be under 40 years old. I don't know how many. Sorry. All right, 3/4 of us go over here, and it's not us. But they only picked 40, and I think they had over 100 applicants this year, which is really weird. Usually agents don't apply for this, but they got selected, not only on production, but other stuff that they do. So there's going to be a big shindig in August at the
Is it at the Bird?
Illuminarium. Does anyone know where that is? No? Area 15? No? Okay. Well, it's going to be there. And a bunch of us are going to go. We're going to have a table and stuff, so look for that invite if you want to come and hang out, have some drinks. Congratulate Roy and Amelia. Then again, we just found out yesterday, our beloved Teresa Effio, there she is, got the top 100 Hispanic realtors for NAREP. NAREP is the National Association of Real Estate Professionals, okay? And this is a big shindig too, okay? NAREP is huge, it's huge. And are they doing a thing? Are they?
I believe so.
I think so, right? We didn't get any details on that, but they usually have a little award ceremony like
Because it was just released
just yesterday, right? Yeah, so really good job. And how long have you been here?
18 years.
18 years. She's been here since Cuba.
I'm a founder.
She's a founder. There you go. She's with the Mary Perrys and the Janets and the Turkhorns. Well, not so much. Damon's been here 11 years, 12? How many? 12. There you go. So good job, Teresa. Thank you. If you come in this Saturday, it's probably a good idea not to come in Saturday. Okay? We're cleaning the place. Okay? So be polite to the cleaning people. If they just mop something, don't walk on it, Try to go to the other offices if you can, okay, and use their stuff, okay? Because they're going to be cleaning the whole place. So there'll be a lot of products, a lot of machines, I think they have this big machine like a Zamboni, like at ice hockey, that they're gonna ride around the place, you know. So buyer beware, clients beware. We'd rather you not stop by on Saturday, okay? 4th of July, we're closed, obviously. Market stats, make sure you use the market share totals, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're gonna go on facts.realtor today, because I know all of you have probably been on that website hundreds of times by now, right? Hundreds. We've been talking about it for months, right? So what I'm gonna show you today, you've seen it 20 times already, I am sure of it. But there's some videos on there we're gonna show that's gonna talk about the new forms and stuff that's happening in real soon, okay? Upcoming stuff. Don't forget Justin's classes on Mondays and Thursdays. Next month, this guy's really a cool guy. Stavros Anthony. I've met him a few times down at LVR. He's our lieutenant governor. He's a retired New York City detective that moved out here, I don't know how long ago. Now he's the lieutenant governor. Really nice guy. You know, it's like talking to us. He's not a politician. Green Valley has him at their business meeting in July, so I'm definitely going to go to that. If anyone wants to tag along and eat Green Valley's food, like, great idea, okay? Why not? Let's go eat their food. But he's a good guy, and he's on top of the economy. He's one of these guys like Lee Dreisen. He'll answer anything for the most part, if he can, okay? Then the next day, we're gonna be doing this in the office. All the brokers are gonna come up here. I don't know who's gonna MC it. It might be Damon, it might be John and Wendy. We're not figuring who's gonna MC the thing. But this is always fun. World of Brokers come in, you guys get to be nice to us, ask us questions, all that kind of good stuff. And then the Saturday is the baseball game over at the Las Vegas ballpark. It's $50. All the food you can have, you get a seat. And we've done this how many years, Suze? A lot. 5 or 6 years? Since they opened, right? Yeah, okay. Really a lot of fun. Okay, we all have even though there's no alcohol involved, there's a lot of alcohol involved. Okay? Your ticket doesn't include that. It's a night game on a Saturday. Okay? We used to do it, I think, during the week at night. During the day would be too hot. So it's still going to be hot. Let's be honest, it's July. But it's a lot of fun. So if you can make it, email Stephanie in Green Valley, and you could give her cash or Zeller $50. Okay? So it'd be nice to get a bunch of us to go. Don't forget the Animal Foundation. Amelia Sorensen is really big with the Animal Foundation. She sets this up for us. All those dogs on here are Realty One agent dogs, in case you were curious. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Okay? So anything that you can bring in that the Animal Foundation could use would be really appreciated, because they're always running low on everything.
Yeah, they said not so much for blankets, they were good with blankets and towels, so anything else.
Other than blankets and towels.
Yeah,
Right, okay. They have a bunch of those? Okay.
They have a lot, yeah.
Seems like newspaper they you know, a lot of, because a lot of people don't get newspapers anymore. But I think they use newspapers a lot. Okay? So that's the Animal Foundation, okay? Next week, because of 4th of July, there's no Rev-Up classes. So I don't know who I'm looking at that goes to Rev-Up, but you know who you are, maybe James, we've been to a bunch. There's none next week because of 4th of July. So we're gonna push it back a week, okay? That's the Rev-Up schedule. That's the June calendar that ends today, I guess. And Wendy's right on top of it. There's the July calendar, right? Subjects change, of course, but that's what it looks like, okay? And every Tuesday, don't forget, she has a mastermind group. If you want to go to this, I think you should. But if you go every month. Don't just pop in, you know, which you can. But it would be nice to get the same core people there month after month, kind of sharing ideas and coming up with scenarios that we can all benefit from, okay? Okay? And that's Tuesdays, correct? First Tuesday every month, okay? All righty, gang. Solar, remember solar when it came out, it was really big. Then I think it crashed and burned for a little while, sort of. But I think it's back again, okay? It really is. Me and Wendy, see, we practice what we preach. We had a listing appointment on Saturday. We went together, right? And we killed it, I tell you, we killed it. But they had solar. And it was a small house, but they pay $80 a month. And their NV Energy bill was like $10. Let's go. So for $100 a month, they had that AC going 24/7.
Was it leased or owned?
Leased. Yeah. Okay. But the point is, they're paying $100 a month. If they didn't have that, God knows what their NV power bill would be, right? It would be tremendously high. So I'm not saying we all should do solar, but it's out there. And I think what Mike is going to talk about a lot, to remind him, is his service where he'll help you get all the paperwork done. Because we've had a lot of deals where it's a week before closing, and oh my God, the transfer didn't go through, and no one told the lender about it, and then we're scrambling to close this deal. Okay, Mike will fix all that for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, There he is. Mike Calvert. Come on, Mike. Come on down.
We'll fix it for you.
Absolutely.
Sure.
You got
That's
this.
what you think. Every time you guys call me, you're like, it's 2 days before closing.
Well, here you go.
Sorry. Sorry about it. Let me jump on, let me get logged in here. While I'm getting logged in, why don't you guys, just who's dealing with the solar one right now?
Let's escape that one, or minimize that one. You got it, right? Minimize it.
Is this okay?
Yeah,
Just jump in.
you're good. Yeah.
Anybody dealing with a home transaction with solar right now?
Jesus.
God
Believable.
bless the music industry. Alright. How do I add one here? I'm probably on here. Maybe not. Okay. No one has a transaction right now that has solar on? Anybody, yeah, you do? What is it?
California,
In California?
new home purchase,
Oh, okay, okay. New build or just new home purchase?
new builders, sorry.
Okay. Builders building with solar?
Yes.
Alright. How are we doing with that, you guys? I mean, I hear that's the or the new sale market, right, is the new builds because of the interest rates? Is that true, not true? Okay. Anybody been selling signature homes? Beezer Homes? New
Lennar's doing
communities?
some and some.
Lennar still does it, but Signature's doing it now too?
True.
Beezer's doing it too?
They were complaining about, the client was complaining about the tax on the new build, so they went with every.
Oh, what is he on here?
Shade Room, Trilogy, you have the lease or buy it,
Lease or buy? I gotcha.
and I think it's like 12.
I don't know how that, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right here. Tim, can you give me log?
You did mention you didn't want to go on the computer, so just saying, you know. There you go. You're in. Yeah. I tell you, exactly, right? You know.
I had a comment up here, I heard a comment up here, is a lease or owned? How many of you guys, I mean, leases, everybody know what a lease is? Everybody know what a PPA is? Everybody know the difference?
There is a difference.
Tell me what the difference is.
With a PPA, you can buy, there's usually an agreement every 5 years. You could buy out the lease. With a lease, you can't buy it out.
Okay, with a PPA you can buy it out too. So, almost. What's the difference between a lease and a PPA?
So the PPA, Mike, they bought it. No, right?
BPA?
Power Purchase Agreement,
Right.
PPA.
Right.
Somebody chime in while I'm struggling through this here and tell us. Say it again?
You have no service contract.
No.
Well, I did one time where it's just sitting on the roof.
Why don't I tell you? Because that's the problem, is that a lot of agents are saying lease. I get addendums all the time from agents, hey, can you read this addendum? It's not a lease, it's a PPA. Leases are almost obsolete here in Nevada. You will see them sometimes with old Vivint contracts and old Solar City contracts, but if you have a Sonova, or you have a Sunrun, or you have anything like that, it's a PPA. Almost 100 times out of 100 times, okay?
And the PPA is they purchased it.
It is an agreement
Right.
to purchase power.
Right, okay.
You do not
But-
have any, right, like, so a lot of the same things apply, lease PPA, but they are very different. Both typically, read the fine print, both typically have the ability to be bought at the end, right? Unless you have one of those old Solar City ones. But for the most part, you will have the option to either buy the system at the end. Oh my goodness gracious, is it working?
Caps locked, maybe?
I don't think so. Oh, see, this is the problem with having too many passwords, you guys.
Alrighty then, hey.
Maybe it is caps lock. How do I
Anybody
know
got a little
it's
Jeopardy
caps lock?
music? A little Jeopardy music here, or, you know?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I have 25 passwords, choose one.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna use my computer and I'm gonna talk to you.
There you
So I don't
go.
have to be up here that long.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Where do you get your energy from? Yeah.
Oh,
Envy Energy? Where does Envy Energy give you their energy from? Do you care?
No.
See, that's the thing, you guys don't care. How many of you do not have solar? Where do they get their energy? You don't care. You don't care. You care that the lights go on, you care that the AC kicks on, that's what you care about. And when the bill hits you, you hate them, but you don't really care where the energy comes from. In 2017, there was a federal mandate. Somebody tell me about it? 50% of our energy in Nevada has to be coming from renewable resources by 2030. So in 6 years. Okay? Which means, and we were already 25% of the way there. which means your house from NV Energy, who does not like solar? I want to point at you. Your house that's getting energy from NV Energy is very possibly coming from solar. But you just have no say over the rate. It goes up, you can't do anything about it, right? And yet your house is running off of solar power. Why? Because if everybody who does not have solar pulls up their bill right now, and you look at those little line items, which I've said this before in your classes, there are 5 different charges that every single one of us pay to put solar panels in the dry lake beds of Boulder City, in Nellis Air Force Base. I mean, you guys drive by it, it's growing so fast, right? And that's just NV Energy making sure that they meet that mandate, which by 2030, if we are doing 50% of our energy from renewable resources, high chance that those solar hater people are getting all their energy from NV Energy via solar panels, okay? So, this mandate, I mean, I have it here, but you can't see it. So the question I have in my slides is this.
Is that something you can send us, Mike? Is that proprietary that you can send it to me and I can send it to them? Okay.
The question is this, you have NV Energy, right? 18 cents per kilowatt hour. You know that, right? Okay, it's becoming more common knowledge for us. Back when there were 7 cents, 6 cents, you could ask somebody what a kWh or a kilowatt hour was, and they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because it doesn't hit our pocketbook, a gallon of gas. But we all know what a gallon of gas is, right? Because it hit our pocketbook, okay? Now it's 18 cents on average. Yeah, some hours of the day lower because there's not as much demand. But 5 o'clock, we all get home from work, we blow our AC, rate goes up, right? Those are peak hours. But on average, and you can Google this, I'm not making this up, just Google, average cost per kilowatt hour in Nevada, 18 cents, okay? NV Energy is 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Historical proof that it also goes up 4.5% a year. 20 years of data proves that. Again, I've been to your class before. 2 years ago, what was the cost of a kilowatt hour or a cube of energy?
15 cents.
10 cents.
Wow.
10 cents to 18 cents in 2 years.
Wow.
So there are obviously years where it goes really up. And then there are some years, very few, but some years where it actually dips down a little bit. So on average, 4.5% increase, right? Do you care again where the energy's come from? No, you don't really care. And it could possibly be coming from solar, which you're paying 18 cents for because you hate solar, okay? No future ability to pay, no future ability to not pay for energy. If you stay with NV Energy, you have no future ability to not pay for energy, right? And if you stay with NV Energy, you have 0 energy independence. You're completely dependent on them, correct? Let's just say for a hot second that NV Energy is no longer a monopoly, okay? Raise your hand if you think that energy rates are gonna go down. It's okay, raise your, I don't just like to accept this stuff, right? Because they could be building solar up really, really good and then sweep our legs and drop the energy rate. And now we're all running to a new state because you guys are trying to kill us.
It would be like Texas.
Right, exactly.
I honestly think they advertised like 2 weeks ago.
Potentially going down.
Yeah, yes, I
Okay.
read that.
So-
Like, what?
Let me, and I'm the same type of way, like, I would love to believe that they will, but then I go, okay, let's think logically for a hot second. We sell between 100 and 130 systems a day in Nevada. Not my company, but in solar, okay? That means 100 to 130 people are taking some of the energy that they buy from NV Energy, and they're now getting it from solar panels, okay? Maybe not all, maybe their sales reps sucked, right? Or whatever, but some will get all of their energy, all right? And when they leave NV Energy, what does that do to NV Energy's profits?
Go down.
Thank you. Are they a 501c3 nonprofit? No, they're owned by Warren Buffett, we're gonna make some money, right? Okay, when they leave, and there's no other competition because NV Energy's a monopoly, what does he do to the people who stay with him?
Raise the price.
Raises the prices to make up for the profits, right? Now, the only way this probably potentially changes, note to self or future if we ever have a vote, is deregulation. If they deregulate, more companies come in, it brings competition to the market, maybe it goes down, but we don't know if that'll happen. We had a vote in 2018, and some shady Thursday night at 2 a.m. stuff happened, and we stayed a monopoly. Okay, we stayed a monopoly. So, let's just say for a second that there is a second option. That there is a second option that is an energy company. And with this energy company, you get the same energy that turns on your lights, AC, all that stuff, okay? that other homes are using. All right, let's also say that this cost for energy is potentially 30% cheaper than NV Energy. And then let's also say that you could potentially get it to never go up. So that 4.5 increase with NV Energy doesn't apply to you, right? This is with the new energy company. Would you do it? Just raise your hand if you would entertain the idea of a new energy company where the rates never go up and they're 30% cheaper today. Raise your hand. Keep your hand raised if you don't have solar and you, okay. So you guys should entertain the idea of a power purchase agreement, okay? We've already established that many homes are getting their energy from solar power anyways because of the federal mandate. You just simply don't have any say over the rate, okay? With a power purchase agreement, different than a lease, because a lease is an agreement to pay X amount of money to borrow some solar panels. And those solar panels will do whatever they do. A power purchase agreement is an agreement to purchase energy from the panels that will be on your roof. There's no debt to income problems, okay? The benefits, and the next slide is this. I should just keep going with this. So why? Let's look at it as a realtor. Why are PPAs great? Somebody tell me, who's dealt with one?
I have,
Okay.
and I had one where, it was a few years ago now, but that PPA was, it had a built-in, it did have a built-in
Escalator.
escalation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the
Totally
difference?
negotiable.
Okay, well, my buyer, I was a buyer agent, we were buying, so we had to go with that.
Yeah.
It wasn't negotiable
I
for
get it.
my buyer.
Yeah.
It was already in place.
Yep.
Okay.
And those escalators that she's talking about, they will keep going. They'll keep going. They'll be getting every single contract that you bump into, unless we all strap on our solar advisor hats and tell every homeowner that we bump into, hey, you think about going solar? Tell them no escalator. Tell them no escalator. You can absolutely beat them up and get no escalator.
When you buy,
When you buy it.
Okay.
Obviously, if it's already in the contract, my bad, so sad.
Oh, take it.
But when you purchase solar, you can absolutely beat the sales rep
Can
up
you-
to have no escalator.
Once that contract is up, it's just a question, you can't get rid of it and get a new company?
No.
Yeah.
Now, once it's
Wow,
on there,
that's
it's.
like a child.
I
I love my children, but that's good for everybody.
You can't change it.
You can't change the terms and
say
conditions,
husband.
you
You're not
can't
saying
change the terms and conditions that were agreed upon in the beginning. So again, let's look at it as a
Wow.
realtor. Why is a realtor's PPA better? Let me tell you. Number one, they're completely transferable. If you look at a Sunrun contract that's a PPA, it says in there, should your buyer not qualify, because they still have to do a soft credit check,
Yeah.
they can pay $250 and no problem. It'll transfer no matter what. So they are completely transferable. I've never.
Wait, say that again, with that, say that one more time, cause you confused me.
Different banks, Sonova, Sunrun, and Tesla are the big PPAers, okay? Different banks have different stipulations, but if your buyer does not qualify for some
I
reason,
got that, then what?
they can potentially pay 6 months up front. They can pay $250 before they do the credit check and just go around it. Or they sometimes they'll say like, $1,000. But
What do you mean go around? I'm a little confused. It stays in place, but they're not qualified?
Avoid the credit
No,
check altogether.
avoid the credit check.
Credit check altogether.
Right, and why do they do that? It's because it's a utility payment. Remember, it's an
Right.
agreement to purchase power.
That's
You
so-
all have an agreement to purchase power
Yeah, I
from
know.
NV Energy, and NV Energy never blows up your house deals, right? Same thing with the PPA. Why is the second reason? The second reason, as a realtor, it's not against their credit, so it doesn't affect their buying potential, right? The underwriter doesn't look at it as an expense, right? And the last PPAs, again, who are the three companies? Do you remember me spitting out? the list?
Sonova, Tesla, and Sunrun.
Sonova, Tesla, and Sunrun. Are they large?
Yes.
They're publicly traded. These, raise your hand if you've heard X, Y, Z companies out of business.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I don't,
All
right,
over
that's
the
what
place,
happens.
right?
Yeah, so what happens when it's Titan, like what happened with that?
Well, that's a good point, but that's not,
Okay.
give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. Large publicly traded companies, much less chance of them going out of business, okay? So when you run into the Titans going out of business, typically all those customers who are upset, they had loans. They are responsible to pay for those loans to the banks they took them from, regardless of how the equipment works.
And it doesn't, like I have a client that doesn't work.
Right.
Equipment doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. It's- Why is the PPA better for a buyer? Again, no credit check, or no credit check that actually could blow up the deal, right? There's no debt against them, all right? And then as a customer or a seller, It doesn't matter, how many of you say this still? Solar makes sense if you're gonna be in your house for 5 years.
Never said that.
Have you ever heard that?
Never.
Okay, that's not true with a PPA.
Yeah.
Because what is the goal of solar typically for customers?
Less.
Lower payment, right? With a PPA that doesn't have a debt, doesn't have a loan on your income, right? It's that, all the things that we've already pointed out, you can start saving day one by just simply paying for a cheaper cube of energy, kilowatt hour. 30% less.
So no capital
So
investment.
no capital investment at all, right? Okay, so what is a PPA? It's an agreement to buy energy from the solar power. Bumper to bumper warranty, 25 years from large publicly traded companies. Far less chance they're gonna go out of business. And again, underwriters view it as a utility, okay? And then how? This is the big part, okay? Every time I come in here, you guys, I look at you as advisors. Okay, maybe I'm wrong for doing that, but I do, okay? I don't look at you as, oh, I hate solar, blah, 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 real estate agents, we just use real estate. My industry does not care about educating homeowners. They would hate me, I'm the Steve Hawks of my industry.
Yeah.
They would, I love Steve Hawks, good friend. No, I really do. But I'm 100% an enemy of the industry, because I'm in here telling you, you do not have to have an escalator. Do you know how much commission they make when they put a 2.5 escalator in there? It's insane, it goes from $6,000 to $16,000, okay? Just by putting an escalator in. So by me being in here and telling you, I hope that you go and advise homeowners, yourselves, your family members, whoever, if I do get a PPA, or I do go solar, PPA is probably the best, because I'm gonna sell my house eventually, I don't want it to blow up the deal, right? I don't want a big loan on my credit, and I wanna lock in the rate that I pay for energy.
We need to call you.
You can call me, or you can just sell it to yourself, right? So I really do hope you guys will advise people, hey, if you're gonna go solar, I would highly suggest the PPA. Okay, I've done, on my next slide, I go through the transfer concierge service that Tim was telling you guys about.
Yes, I want to hear.
Okay? I have helped many real estate agents during the transfer process of a solar ownership, all right? And the PPAs never hurt the deal. But I've had multiple deals fall through with loans, multiple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep,
And
absolutely.
couple reasons for that, it's getting even harder, is because you guys know, there's a lot of bad actors in solar. So banks are now, whether it's said or unsaid, I don't know, and it's a conspiracy theory of mine, but I don't think it's very conspiracy, okay? It's a theory. I think they're trying to get their money back. So even Goodleaf, who used to be very easy to transfer from one person to the next, is starting to say, you don't qualify. And the buyer's like, I have an 800 credit score. And they're like, sorry, I think they want their money back.
Sometimes it's not transferable.
Sometimes it's
So,
not transferable.
I had buyers, we were prepared to assume a loan, and then the seller found out it's not transferable, and she had to pay it off, my buyers got it for free.
Right.
Yep, yeah.
Good.
So that
Yeah.
last note,
I've got
guys,
that
I'll
also.
pitch my company for a hot second. We do the transfer concierge service, and I'm going to train you for a second, right? So whoever your trainers are in this office, view me as one for a hot minute. You get a solar transaction, the house has solar, you charge them more. It's 3% plus $1,000. You chose to get solar, that's cool. I'm gonna call Tim 5 times. I'm gonna call Mike 2 times and bother him even though he doesn't get paid for it. I'm gonna do this, 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 because it has solar. So I'm working extra hard for you. Charge them $1,000 and pay our company $500 and we'll do the whole thing for you. We don't have magic wands, don't get me wrong. We're just gonna be you instead of you being you, right? We'll call the solar companies, we'll take the buyer, give them all the instructions. We'll give the seller, give them all the instructions. And the thing that will make it worth your time is, how many of you have done a transaction with solar?
Oh, God.
And when you do it, what has to transfer? What has to transfer?
Well, it depends on, I mean, it's a whole nother contract, it's like a transaction within a transaction.
So I guess the question I'm asking is, in order for the UCC one filing to be
UCC,
clear
thank you,
and
thank you.
title to be clear enough to sell the house,
Thank you.
you guys worry about the transfer of ownership with a financial contract. But did you know that multiple installers require that you call them and let them know, otherwise they will not honor a workmanship warranty? Did you know that multiple components of the system have manufacturers that you have to call to let them know, and they charge to transfer the ownership? You don't know that because it doesn't have anything to do with the UCC one release. And so a lot of things fall through the crack, we do all that for you.
That's
okay?
great.
It's $495, but again, I'm highly recommending that even if you don't use us, you should still charge them $1,000. You are gonna spend 14 to 15 extra hours of your life on a house that has solar versus the house that doesn't. I had an agent raise their hand and say, I did 2 solar deals, it was a piece of cake. I was like, did you call the installer? No. Did you call the manufacturer of the box on the side of the house, let them know? No? Okay. Yeah, you'll get a call in a few weeks. Because the owner is going to call and say, hey, I just moved in, blah, 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 and the manufacturer's gonna say, I'm sorry, you're Bob? Yeah, it's still in Susie's name. So you're the new owner? Cool, send us a proof that you own the house and pay us $200.
500.
500, 200, whatever it is, right? Not always, but in many cases. So the lady who said, oh, the transfer was easy, sure. A lot of times transferring the financial contract of ownership that's tied to the UCC is easy. But it's all the things that fall in the crack because you don't know. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what we step in and we do. But again, I would highly recommend that if this summer kicks you in the face with your energy bills, consider a PPA. And yeah, do call us. We'll take care of you. We will not put an escalator on it. And we'll give you good equipment and make sure that you're taken care of for energy purchasing. Yeah.
Timing on, I've had these delay closings numerous times, and obviously, I will totally use you, I just put you in my phone, I mean, I'm
You're
like,
good.
where were you 10 years ago? Yeah, time I'll never get back in my life, I could be hiking somewhere. Timing wise, it used to be these would delay closings almost every time.
Yeah.
Title company would call and say, you're screwed, you know.
Yeah, I'll give you a blanket statement, okay? If you're running into solar contract transfers that have a credit union, they will do 60 to 90 days, and they don't care, okay? You gotta keep in mind, when you sell a house, does title get paid? Yeah, right? When you sell a house, does the lender get paid? You bet, right? When you sell a house, does the solar person get paid? No, they care less about your closing date. You call them up and get frustrated with them, they're like, well, masochistic today, I'm gonna make you pay, right? I don't get paid to do this, I don't care about your 3-day from now closing, right? So be kind to them.
Yes.
Be kind to them, alright? PPA or a loan with good leap or dividend or one of the bigger banks, 5 to 7 business days.
Okay, so it should not hold up a normal
No, it
closing.
shouldn't hold up a normal. If
But
you're
get
gonna-
on it right away, obviously.
Yeah, if you're gonna take on the transfer yourself, right? The first thing you should do, the best advice I can give you guys, is just to slap your customer in the face and say, stay on your emails, sign your DocuSigns, don't go on vacation.
And you
Yeah.
pay the fine, Mr. Seller.
Yeah, whatever it is, that's the best thing you can do. It's usually the people who are like, this should have been done, it's like, well, your customer didn't sign the DocuSigns 3 times, and they expire every 24 hours, so sorry. Yeah.
If you don't have the acceleration clause, does that allow your seller to get out of the contract at some point?
No, so once you agree, right, to the terms that you have in your solar PPA, it is what it is. So most common PPAs will have an escalator every year of 2.5%, right? Because the pitch is easy, NB Energy goes up 4.5, so this is better. But you now knowing what I've told you, you don't have to have it at all. When they sit in their car and they prepare to go in the house and they're gonna sell the solar system, they put in there whatever escalator they want based on how much they wanna walk out of that house making, okay?
So the moral of the story, gang, is call Mike on anything solar,
Yeah.
okay?
Sure.
We'll get his home address, we'll find out where he lives,
If
you
you
know,
want- If you want
just,
just some advice,
you
please
know,
email me, right?
yeah.
Happy to respond to emails, not happy to answer your phone calls just for chit chat. Okay, it's not that I don't love you, I do love you, but the amount of people who basically, and you get this, how many of your friends ask you questions about homes, and you're like, well, you're actually gonna buy one from me? Right, like, I'm kind of the same way, especially since I'm the only company who does what I do in the entire valley, and I'm with every single brokerage, which you guys are my favorite.
Yeah, we've heard that
Hence the
before.
reason. All right, so you guys look at the blank stares, this guy is where it's at.
Yeah. But out there, Mike has a bunch of brochures on the thing outside, so you know.
702.
Okay.
881. That's okay. It's either 748 pros
Yeah.
or it's my cell
Marker.
881-3868.
3868.
Here and then-
38.
Okay, so I heard someone,
Mike is solar.
a friend of a
3868.
friend said, client's friend said they got their solar from auction and they got 100 panels and they cost them little money.
You gonna say so too?
How do you, like,
Yeah.
someone would ever say that to me, this was just hearsay.
If someone got solar panels,
On an auction.
it'd be like the same as Amazon, right? Like they're
Okay.
buying panels to put on their
And then you have to have someone put them on.
Yeah, good luck selling that house.
Yeah.
No warranty.
There you go. Yeah, thank you.
Who's
Yeah.
that spread note for?
Yeah, right here.
All right, last one, then we gotta kick Mike to the curb.
Okay, one more question. What happens if there's excess power? If there's power left over
Yeah.
from your PPA?
Yeah, so
For what
net
reason?
metering applies to PPA leases and loans. If you overproduce, you bank
Doesn't
that,
transfer.
you bank that energy, that's correct, that you bank that energy in your account. Right, so let's say at the end of the year, I decide to sell my house, to your point, and I have $1,500 worth of credit built up, I will take it to my new house. And I'll use $1,500 worth of credit until I
See
no
the
longer
market?
have credit. But if you
To
overproduce
see this
energy
point.
and meet energy, which is one of the most advantageous solar programs in the country, allows you to bank a certain percentage of that excess credit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Tim's gonna yell.
All right, gang, Mike Calvert, everybody, Mike Calvert, area, yeah! Epiq, all right, worth the price of admission here, you know? Thank you, Mikey. You got your stuff? Yeah, take that, there you go.
Go sell some houses.
There you go, and he's
If those
gonna,
rates do come down, you're gonna sell more houses.
and I think in July, he's gonna do a CE class here, so keep your calendars open, July, CE. All right, gang, let's move along here. There she is, Wendy Schaller. She went to, she's part of this leadership program down at LVR that I recommended to her, and Mary threatened her life if she didn't go. So, learning some interesting stuff here, to say the least, you know?
Okay, so I thought I'd do realtor fun facts and all the stuff going on with the NAR and all the new paperwork and stuff like that. But, so NAR was founded in 1908, so super important. So there's some agents now with all these lawsuits, they're like, we don't need the NAR, but they've been around forever, guys. And we really do, you know, so 100% of those members were male at that time, right? The first female joined the NAR in 1910. 2 million
Who knew?
real estate agents are in the United States, but only 1.5 million of them are realtors. Difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. When you're a real estate agent, you are not part of that NAR, right? Just like the ones that are the non-MLS company, they don't have access to the MLS or the law boxes or all that. So it's super important that you're a realtor. It's got a big standing, and it means something when you say I'm a realtor, not just a real estate agent. So be proud of that, guys. Right now, 62% of realtors are females. The average age of realtors are 53 to 56 years old. So all the young people coming in, we're really excited to have you, because we're getting ready to start retiring. So, Nevada licensed realtors, there are 20,817 from the NRED. I thought it was 17,000. This is saying as of right now, there's
20,000 is the whole state. Reno, Tahoe, Incline Village, all that stuff. We have 16 and change here.
So, thanks for coming. Consumer side of this, 89% of buyers use a realtor, okay? So, don't think there's a ton of people out there buying without, you know, us realtors. They still need us, guys. Super important. 72% of people use the first agent they come in contact with. So do a good job every time you're presenting yourself. It's super important because they might have, and this happened to me one time, is good friends of mine. They were like, hey, can you come over and do a listing presentation? We got a guy, it was down in, I think it's Anthem. I can't remember where they were at. I think they were Anthem. And he's like, we got their Anthem specialist. He's hounding us, so we're gonna let him come over. Now I've sold them 2 houses already, and this is the family I've sold 17 houses to. Okay, the whole family. So I'm like, it's in the bag, but I'm still doing my job. I'm preparing. I've got everything for 3 days, and my appointment was at 1. And at 12 o'clock, before I got in the car to go, they called. They said, never mind, we just signed the agreement. They put me on speakerphone, and the guy's in the house with them, and I was like, excuse me, you did what? And he's like, yeah, I run this area. I said, okay, well, how long have you been licensed? And he's telling me, I said, and what kind of designations do you have? And now my people are sitting there, like, listening to that. And he's like, oh, I don't have any designations. I said, well, I have an SRS, which is a seller representative specialized in listings. You know, can I ask you guys why you chose him? What is the reason? I mean, I'm gonna fight for my listing. And then they felt terrible. But he's like, well, I've already got a signed contract. Like, right there, they're now thinking I can't get out of it. So I said, okay, that's fine, that's all right, I will continue to sell the rest of your family. But I know you guys are gonna have questions. Please understand, you've now signed a contract with him. I'm off limits. And sure enough, 3.5 months later, he couldn't sell the house. He finally sold it, But what he did was he took the listing, priced it 30,000 too high, and then went on vacation. Then they couldn't get a hold of him. They're calling me. I said, I'm sorry guys, again, I told you, you signed a contract with him. I can't step on another realtor's toes. You've hired him. At the end, it took him all that time to sell it. The wife calls me, she's like, it's the biggest mistake ever. She says, I have to be honest with you, my husband just has this thing with women. Okay, well, how'd that work out with a man? just letting you know. But then she said there was something with the palm trees, there was something going on, and I said, I'm sorry you had such a terrible experience. I hope the rest of your family values my services. And I just left it at that. Guess what? They sent me 2 other referrals since then. It just happens. You just need to show your value. You are going to lose some, but just continue to show your value, guys, right? So then with that, 89% of sellers use a realtor as well. Super important. So they're not trying to sell. They hear that I can do this myself, But really, guys, they need us. And that just show your value, do your homework, present yourself well. 65% of sellers found their agent from another referral, like from a friend, a family, whatever. So it really is important after you're done with that sale, ask for referrals. Stay in contact with your clients because you never know who they're going to refer you to, right? 87% of consumers said they would use the same realtor again. And I don't think I have it here, but I heard a startling statistic years ago that they want to use us again, but we never follow up and they can't remember our contact information. So they don't use us. Even if you send them something once every 3 months or once every 6 months, just send your people something because they have to know where to find you because they do forget our names, guys. They're like, that realtor, who was that? Or you switch your phone number or your email. Just if you do any of that, just shoot it out to everybody that you know. But stay in contact. I can't say that enough. 20% of consumers have recommended their realtor 4 or more times. So that just shows you again and again and again, they will keep referring you. 43% of homeowners will be willing to move for better pet accommodations. I thought that was kind of neat because we just think it's about them and I'm working from home or my kids, but they'll move if they can find a better location or a pet park or something like that for their pets, guys. So you never know what their trigger button is, right? And then we have 68% of consumers say the animal policy for like an HOA has influenced their decision to rent or buy in a particular community. And I want to say, when I am showing clients, one of the first questions, do you have any pets? And if they say dogs, how large are your dogs? Because think about the homes with the vinyl fencing. There's usually some kind of poundage, the weight that they'll allow on pets because the larger dogs jump on those vinyl fencing and they fall over. So you do need to check with the HOA when you do have clients with large pets. Okay, real quick, a couple more for sale by owners. For sale by owners are accounted for only 7% of home sales in 2023. So it's not that many, but then 57% of those for sale by owners knew their buyer already. So it's usually somebody coming to them and say, I want to buy your house, or I'm selling, hey, I know you, and they connect themselves. It's not like they're going out there going, I hate realtors and I don't want to use them. So don't get discouraged. There are a few of them that think they can do it on their own, but then you show them where they can. And then it's just so just a fun fact I thought I'd share with you guys.
I have your video.
It's interesting. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit or value, and you really need to start doing that because we are realtors. We've done our job and done the research. We practice really hard to be professional, so keep doing that, guys. And if you need anything like that.
Wendy, everybody. Maria's on vacation, okay? Rochelle is out there if you need any help with Rochelle. Some quick stats, real quick. Who's that? Do we know who this is? Who is that? She just happens to be here, too. There she is. Mary Perry, everybody. Yeah!
I only have like five minutes of talk.
All right, so you got a timer? Anybody have a timer? You got a timer here? We have a...
You don't appreciate your assistant till they're on vacation. Right?
Exactly. Right.
He's getting ready to show you a video of something that I put up on my last meeting, June 20th. So you guys know about the lawsuit, the settlement, all the changes, right? We've been trying to get forms out to you. There's 3 different forms that we've been working on for probably 4 or 5 months. So it goes from, we have a forms committee, which is the smart people in the room. And then I also, as a president, I get to choose PAGs. A PAG is a presidential advisory group, so there are more smart people that I put together. So the chair in charge of this settlement PAG is Ron Morganti. I mean, he's been on forums for years. He's on the board of directors with me now. I mean, just sells so much. He's in the trenches, knows everything that he's doing. So we have the forums committee, then we have the settlement PAG, then we have the board of directors, then we have attorneys. So we'll get the forms, we'll find out what the rules are. The forums committee handles it. People will, whatever they, oh, this is wrong, forms looks at it, then it goes to the board of directors. Then we have an attorney at the board of directors, right? So we're looking at the forms, and then we have 3 other attorneys that are looking at it. And our attorney, this attorney, that, there's a whole bunch of attorneys. So it's been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We have a date of August 17th, that's doomsday for some people, right? Some people, it's a great day. So we're like, we have to get these out. Finally, our board of directors meeting, we approved 3 forms. And that's what this video is all about. We're so excited. We're doing rollouts. We're gonna do teaching, podcasts, videos. It's gonna be on transaction desk. Super exciting. Well, then there was a article in the Review Journal yesterday. Did anyone see that one? About the California one?
Yeah.
What did you see?
You tell them.
No, you go ahead and tell me.
No,
Go ahead.
no,
I
no.
saw it.
What was it?
Classes on how to move to Las Vegas.
No, what was it, Tim? Please.
That's how I got.
Tim,
I got.
come on.
No, that's kind of what I got out of it. Come on.
So he doesn't know, so they, I believe, came out with some forms and the DOJ, everyone knows who the DOJ is?
Piece of crap.
Okay. I didn't say that, she said that, she's not on camera. They came out and said the forms that they put out
Or no good.
are no
No
good,
good.
which may be like the new forms that we put out. So I'm not saying that these forms may come out or not. Now we're gonna have to bring it
Yeah.
back to, oh, and aren't you, I appointed you on the
Great,
new-
yeah.
What are you on right now? that-
With Rob.
So he's also on the settlement pack. So he came at the tail end, cause I was like, you know what, let's just throw some more people in this, let me get my broker. And it's a little bit of a nightmare, right?
Oh, it's going much better though.
No, it's going much better, cause
Yeah.
he came at the tail end when
Yeah.
we're almost done. But I'm gonna tell you.
I missed all the drama, you know.
We're back now. If you see this video and I'm telling you it's coming out July 10th and it doesn't, there's a reason why it's not. But I am so sorry this has taken so long, but it's almost like it's red tape. Just when I was like so excited, we were, drinking and high-fiving, we can't believe it. And now we're told the DOJ is saying no to the California ones. So if we put this out, I'm not sure yet. So before this video goes out, something new came up and it's back to the attorneys. We're hoping maybe it's just one little thing we have to take out, but that's what I want to talk to you guys about. I also want to bring up the YPNs. What is it, 40 under 40?
Yep. Amelia and Roy.
Did you already
We did
bring
it,
that up?
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we had 2 winners this year. To win, it's super easy. I mean, you just gotta get out there, but I just wanna remind everyone, it takes 2 to be in a transaction. I'm not a successful realtor by myself. I mean, if I'm a listing agent, I need a buyer's agent. If I'm a buyer's agent, I need a listing agent. So you guys gotta get out there in the public and meet other people. And the YPN event is the most fun, right? Carrie, you guys have been there, it's so much fun. We wanna see you guys there. And get more involved, come to the association and come to different committees.
How nice is this location, the
Oh
Illuminarium?
my God, it's like sick. This is
Yeah.
like $100,000 venue that we're doing. It's gonna be so much fun, amazing. And I am definitely not 40 and I've been coming to YPN for a very long time because this age group under 40,
There you go.
they just think differently than I think, and I like to learn from them and, get to experience what they're doing because it teaches me more, is what I could just say, right?
Yeah.
And, I made her join leadership this year and tell me you've been in 2 classes so far.
I love it, I really do.
And she didn't even wanna do it. I was like, you gotta do
It's not that I
it.
didn't wanna do it, it's like I just didn't have the time to do it,
But
but
you made
you
the
have
time.
to set the time aside.
And is it amazing?
It is, it's great.
So I need you guys to start, we're only 6 months in, you guys can start coming to the association and do different things. It's the first time ever a Realty One Group agent is the president, so let's get involved, guys, and, let's show our value, okay? Thank you.
Mary Perry, baby. Woo-hoo! 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 And to Mary's point, when all these changes come out, and it affects the whole country, right? Some associations want to be first, right? They want to get out there and even some of you may have said, maybe not to me or Wendy or amongst yourself, are they going to send out the forms a month or two in advance? Are they going to send them out August 15th? Like when are they going to send them out, okay? California jumped the gun, and now they got kicked in the ass because DOJ said, that's great, but that doesn't cover you. That's wrong from what the lawsuit says.
Oh my God.
So now they have to go back and redo the form or remove a paragraph or whatever it was, okay? So that's why, like Mary said, I got involved in this committee at the end. And I feel bad for the 10 people that were on there before me, what they went through for 6 months trying to change the form. This is the form. Mary left the room, right? Okay. This is your new BBA. BBRA. It's not 1 page. Nah, it's not 2. It's 5. It's 5. You can't have it yet, though, because it's not official. But it's 5 pages. And the print is smaller. It's, so... Exactly, yeah. So it's
Really like 10 pages.
it could be, I don't know. But, so they did this in California, and DOJ said, now this is all shit's wrong. Start all over again. And they put in months to do this. And I came in at the end, and I didn't really want to give my opinion, because they did it already, But my first opinion was, could you make it 2 pages instead of 5? Could you really, guys, maybe 1 page, or the one we have is fine. Let's leave the one we got. But they're trying in here to protect us in the future, because there's going to be more lawsuits. There's going to be more lawsuits, okay? And then what this is, to kind of tease you a little bit more, this is what's going to be added to the RPA. No, the listing agreement. And this is going to be added to the RPA. So the listing agreement, for those of you that have been around for a while, we're going back to where you put both co-ops. Who likes that idea? Damn, absolutely, right? Absolutely. We took it away in 2020. Why? I don't know.
You said both what?
But
Co-ops, like your money and what your co-op.
right now we put one number, 5%, right? And you don't know what you're going to give the co-op, right?
I see.
It's a secret until right. Now you got to put it on there. So it's 2 and 2, 4 and 2, 5 and 1, whatever your numbers are. Okay, and on the RPA is where you're going to be able to have a paragraph to put in what commission you want the seller to pay you. Because in the past, you couldn't negotiate commission in the contract. It was an NAR ethics violation. Now they've changed that. So, because what's going to happen is you might not know the co-op by the time you show the house, right? The listing agent didn't call you back, right? But your buyer wants to see the friggin' house. So you go show the house, the co-op could be 0 for all you know, okay? But so you're going to put in here what is on your BBA. That's what we're going to recommend.
BBRA?
BBRA. Son of a bitch. The buyer broker representation agreement. God help us here. Okay? So if you have 3 on your BBRA, you want to put 3 here. Okay? And
Is
like
there an addendum to the?
it's going to be in the RPA, another category, another paragraph.
This is all so crazy.
It's insane. Okay?
What about, like, I have a listing and I'm gonna co-op this, and then suddenly it changes. Do we see what the listing agreement, are we entitled?
Say it again.
Like if you took a listing now,
But over
you
there,
say-
we're going
No, if a buyer is like, oh, you say I'm getting 2%, and then you go and whatever, get the settlement statement, like, we're not supposed to share the documents with our sellers with the
No,
buyer.
it's in your offer, and when you write up the offer, you want 3% commission. It's not. That's what this means in legal terms. Okay, so you negotiate. You might not get the offer back, and it's a counter offer. No, there's no co-op. Sorry, Patrick. My seller is not offering anything.
You can't make it part of the purchase agreement. You can have this stupid little piece of paper on the side. So stupid. No, you said.
Right. No, this is the RPA.
No, I
Right,
understand.
right. It's going to be in the RPA. Right, it's going to be in there. Correct, exactly. They're going to be there. Joe?
I took the ABR designation this Monday, Tuesday, and they said that we can negotiate our commission all the way up until, before closing. The problem is, we can't make the contract be contingent upon us getting what we want. So if you do that, that's the unethical, that's the violation. So just FYI, that was something I learned this weekend. I didn't know we could even negotiate past the original contract.
Here, hopefully you guys, like I teased before, you've gone to fax.realtor hundreds of times, right? You have it on your Google Play favorites, right? These are all 1 or 2 minute videos. Like, just watch this real quick, if it works.
I'm wondering, can a seller offer concessions to a buyer to pay for buyer broker services?
Sellers also continue to have the choice to offer buyer concessions, and these concessions can be communicated on the MLS, subject to their MLS's local rules, and provided that the concessions are not conditioned on the use of or payment to a buyer broker. Remember, as a general matter, seller concessions usually aren't binding until they are established in an executed contract, such as a listing agreement or a purchase contract. If a seller offers concessions, the buyer may choose to allocate concessions in any way, including towards their buyer's broker's compensation in their purchase offer.
Have more questions about the proposal?
No, I'm not even sure what that means.
Me neither.
Right? Am I not alone with that? Okay. All right. Right. Okay. But he did throw in the word local. In other words, there's going to be some MLSs in the country that's going to have a seller concession field. Not many, I don't think. Okay. Because it becomes too ambiguous. What does it mean? What doesn't it mean? But he's saying that if you're in New Jersey and you want to put a seller concession field, knock yourself out. But I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think we're going there because, like you said, we're looking at each other like, hey, what are you talking about here? You know. Then here's another one. How to communicate? Was that the one? Where's the guy? This guy. I think that's him. Last but not least, let's see what I think. This is Mark. I think the guy Mark.
Does a written buyer agreement requirement mean that I have to get a written buyer agency agreement?
Great question. When the practice changes go into effect on August 17th, 2024, MLS participants working with buyers will still be able to enter into any type of professional relationship permitted by state law. NAR will not dictate the type of relationship the professional has with a potential buyer, such as agency, non-agency, exclusive, non-exclusive, sub-agency, transactional, client, or customer. NAR will not dictate the term of the agreement, which can be for as little as 1 day, 1 month, or 1 showing. NAR will not dictate the services to be provided, such as full service, limited service, a certain number of showings, contract negotiations, or presenting offers. NAR will not dictate the compensation charged, whether that be a flat fee, a certain percent, or an hourly rate. To comply with the practice change required by the settlement, the written agreement must be entered into prior to the buyer touring a home and must include 3 elements. First, buyer agreements must specifically and conspicuously disclose the amount or rate of any compensation the MLS participant will receive from any source. The amount of compensation must be objectively ascertainable and may not be open-ended. Second, buyer agreements must include a statement that MLS participants may not receive compensation from any source that exceeds the amount or rate agreed to with the buyer. Third, buyer agreements or a separate disclosure must conspicuously state that broker commissions are not set by law and are fully negotiable. Beyond these requirements, buyer agreements may include other common contractual provisions as negotiated between the real estate professional and the consumer.
For more information, visit facts.realtor.
Crystal clear, right? Just making sure. Okay, making sure we're on the same one. And then here, one more. There's only a minute. Okay.
Can you tell me if the proposed settlement prohibits offers of compensation?
Offers of compensation will continue to be an option for consumers to pursue off the MLS, consultation, and negotiation with real estate professionals. However, effective August 17, 2024, the MLS can no longer be used to communicate offers of compensation, and where there is an offer of compensation made off the MLS, there will be no policy requiring that such offers be blanket, unilateral, and unconditional. Instead, once an MLS participant obtains a seller's approval to make an offer, the offer of compensation can be shared through other common marketing vehicles such as flyers, signs, emails, and other communication mechanisms off of the MLS. For example, a broker can show offers of compensation for their listings on their website display. However, they must not display offers of compensation for other brokers' listings on their website display if it relies upon any MLS data or data feeds.
For more information, please visit facts.realtor.
Well, there you go. So we're crystal clear, right? Okay. Let's end on this. We're going to do lots of classes, and I think LVR is going to be doing training classes, actually. Okay? So July 10th might not be the day to get the forms. It might be
Tim,
later.
you don't see any potential of this getting pushed back from August 17th meeting?
Sure. I can see that happening. I can see that happening, absolutely. You know? I can see that happening. But just keep in mind, we'll do everything to keep everybody informed. So thank you, gang, for your patience. Oh, okay. Joe Dean, no, I can't have you do it. Where's Cheryl? You got here late, so you can't win. Pick a number between 1 and
5.
That a girl, Cheryl. Pick a number from 1 to 23, Cheryl. Pick a number 1 to 23. 22.
22 is Anna.
Anna Kawamura?
Anna was long here, right?
Anna Kay?
She go to the next
No, we don't do it. No, she got here early. We'll give this to Anna. All right, there you go. Thank you, gang. Have a good day. Go to that website, facts.realtor.